Okay, Liz, so I apparently need to make this quicker. So anyway, these are the books for the Knook. There's a grown-up version and a kid version just to get you started. Basically, just one slows down. Let's do this. And it really is a variety of different sizes, just like the knitting needles. These are crochet hook style. They go up to the bigger size, which is what we're going to use. And they also come in the bamboo. And they have cords, different sizes, lengths, and widths. So, the fundamental difference really is instead of 2 needles, you've got a hook and this threads through here and a cord. And you can put a clip on the end to keep this from going into it's sliding off, I mean. Alright, so the main difference is when you cast on, instead of the normal way you would cast on, you would actually chain 1, 2, I'm going a little fast, I'm sorry, 3. So you're going through here, it's going behind, you're pulling it forward, and it's hooking. 4, 5. I'm sorry, I was counting as I was doing that, but that's, you're going to chain them on, so this becomes your foundation row, and then you're picking up your loops, and it's really simple. This is always, this is going to be your first one, so then 2, and you just put it through the top, your hook is facing down, you're just grabbing and pulling it forward. So, and I'm just going to put 14 on here real quick so I can do a pattern for you real quick so I can show you. It's, other than this, it's pretty, it's knitting. Other than this, it is really truly knitting with a hook instead of a needle. So hopefully this is high enough that you can see it. Not too low again. So hook, oops. But you just go through and pick it up. So this is the last one. We'll go through here. You can see it just pulls it right through. And then we should have 14 on here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. You'd cast on as many, you would chain as many as it tells you to cast on, and then you'd pick up a loop in each one of those. So when you're done with the row, you just slide it off onto this cord, leave it on the cord, and then just like knitting, we're gonna purl some stitches. So purl, your yarn comes to the front, excuse me, yarn comes to the front, you go through the front. So when you purl, just remember front and front. The hook faces your work, you're going to pull it down, just like when you're doing the purl stitch with your knitting needle. So you're going straight across the front, this is in front, comes up over and down. So if you remember my little thing for knitting, down in front, you go down in the front. And then when you knit, you're still going left to right, front to back. So if you take and just lay it down flat, you'll see it opens up and it's not twisted, and then you can go right in the top, and then back is up and away. So if you just push it over towards this hand, you just open up that stitch and you're going to go right in the top. So for knit, it's still the left to right, front to back, but you can just lay it down and go in the top. So knit is across the front. Just remember when you're purl, Purl is the stitch I just did. When you purl, yarn is front, needle, work. Okay. And when you knit, push this back so you're going in. You're still, even though my needle's going this way, I'm actually going that way, okay? Because I laid that hook down. So instead of fighting to bring it back, left or right, I'm just laying the loop down so it's doing the same thing. And when you're working in the back, your knit is always the yarns in the back, then the hook, then the work, and faces that way. And you just pick, it's real easy to just, yarn, pull that through. See, it just pulls right through. So purl, it's the same thing. You just have the hook, you have that to be able to grab it and pull it through for you. So it does make it a little bit easier. And I'm using bulky yarn so you can see, and so it works quickly. And then knit. You'll see as the pattern develops with the knit that realistically that is the way it's going to be. Like you're literally pulling that stitch up into, from the center of the one below it. So it's going to create that nice knit, and you'll be able to see as the pattern develops that, going into the top is just fine as long as you lay it the right way. If you lay it the wrong way, you'll see it twists and it gives you like an E instead of an open knit. It'll give you like that E. Okay. So we'll get to the end. So you see this is in the row underneath. I got twisted a little because of my back and forth with my knit and purl, but that's okay. So we're going to pull out just the bottom. We leave this on, so if you want to hold that, you can hold that. You're just pulling out the bottom so you can see that's loose. If you're working an Afghan or something bigger, this would already be onto this top thread, so you're just going to push this all the way over onto that thread. You just want to pull out the bottom thread. Okay, now we're starting the reverse. So this is going to be a rib pattern, and we're going to knit back. So, and like I said, you can see if you lay it over, now it's nice and open. You can see that knit pattern starting to emerge. So if you just lay it back, it's the exact same thing as going that way. You're just pushing it back to make it easier. And then purl to the front. And with this, it's just purl is yarn in front, hook facing your work, and you're coming down in the middle. So you're coming down in the front, and then when I knit, yarn's in the back. You bring the hook through, the hook's facing your work, and it's going up and away, and you're just grabbing it. So you can see that hopefully better. So I'm working with just like that. Oh, not that way, this way. I was about to purl in the knit stitch. That was not good. Alright, anyway, so we'll go purl. Sorry, mommy's fault. Hooks that way. So it actually wraps up and over the hook when you purl, and you're literally just grabbing it when you knit. So when you knit, it's up and away. You're literally just grabbing it and pulling it through. You're not twisting it at all. The purl stitch is the one where it's in front of it, so you're twisting over the front of it and pulling it through. But the back of the purl stitch is going to be the knit, the back of the knit stitch is going to be the purl, just like when you're knitting with knitting needles. And just like when you're knitting with knitting needles, it's the same, the same motion. It's just you have that hook to help you grab on this. And like I said, when you turn the row, whether it's on the needle, sometimes you may have it so it's like partially off the needle, so you just have to look, okay, and you just want to grab this lower thread and pull this lower thread out, because this is your holding needle, and then this continues to be your working needle. One thing I did want to tell you is just the same as knitting. If you're purling two together, you're going to pick up two this way. If you're knitting two together, it's better if you kind of can grab them together and then go through and knit two together. Knitting, you're still coming this way when you're picking up, to knit 2 or 3 or whatever together, and purl you're still going this way when you're picking them up. And yarn over is the exact same. Casting off is exactly the same. You would come in the first one, put it onto this needle, come in the second one, put it on the needle, and then pull it through. So realistically, the only real difference is this very first row. You're doing a chain, so you want to keep it on the looser side a little bit, and then you're gonna just pick up those loops, and they're pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Love you.